Let's continue with the verb conjugations in Spanish. Okay. The first group of verbs that we will start off with is the AR verbs. Just to remember, there are three groups of verbs in Spanish: AR, ER, and IR. And then we have the irregular verbs that really don't follow all these rules. Okay. So let's start off with the AR verbs. Let's say the verb is amar, which means to love. If I'm referring to first person, yo, I in English, yo amo. So what we do is that we remove the AR and we add O. That's for yo. The next subject, tú. Tú means you. Tú amas. The same thing. Once we remove the AR part of the verb, we will add AS for tú. Él, which means he, ella, she, usted, formal, you, when you're talking to an adult, we say ama. So we're going to add a. Nosotros amamos. The same, we remove the AR and we're going to add amos. Ustedes, so you guys, plural. Ellos, referring to plural male or referring to men. Ellas, referring to women. Aman. So we remove the AR and we add AN. So these are the ending, and it's very important that you learn the endings. O, AS, A, amos, an. These are the endings for AR regular verbs. Very good. Now for the ER verbs. Let's use the example comer, which means to eat. I simply remove the ER and then I'm going to add my endings. And since this verb is ER, my conjugation must make sense. If you notice here, it's AR, so the endings typically start with A. The same thing for ER, it's a pattern. They must make sense as well. So the same thing for yo, we're going to use the same subject pronouns over here. Yo como. Tú comes. Él, ella, usted come. Nosotros comemos. Ellos, ellas, ustedes comen. We add O, ES, E, hemos, N. These are the endings for ER verbs. Now let's check the IR verbs. In this example, we're going to use vivir, which means to live. Remember, in Spanish, you can pronounce the V as B, or you can conserve the V sounding. So I typically say vivir because that's how I learned Spanish in Mexico. But you will hear other native speakers that say vivir. So vivir or vivir means to live. The same thing, we're going to remove the ending of the verb, which is the IR, and we will add O, ES, E, hemos, N. I want you to pay key attention to this because basically we're copying the endings for the ER verb. That's how it works in Spanish, okay? So we're copying the endings. If you notice here, we have O, ES, E. However, for the nosotros column, look, I am not using hemos. I'm not using hemos. I'm using hemos because the verb is an IR verb. So we have to conserve that sound to make it I. Vivimos. Pay attention. Amos, hemos, hemos. Very good. And for the last one, ustedes, ellos, ellas, we're going to use viven. So we go back to the EN, EN. So basically, the IR verbs is just the same conjugation as the ER verb, except for nosotros. For nosotros, we have to use IMOS. I hope that makes sense. So these are the endings that we will use to conjugate all the other verbs in Spanish in the present tense. Don't forget, this is the present tense of the regular AR ER and IR verbs. Very good. We will continue with the next part of the course in a moment.